Welcome back to another conversation from the U School. My name is Jody Ashbrook. I'm co-founder of Elevate Higher Ed and founder of the U School. So in today's conversation, we are going to talk about how do you engage students once they've either enrolled or have been admitted to your university. A lot of times what I find in working one-on-one with institutions is they work so hard to get these students in, admitted and enrolled. And then we find that there's a pretty significant drop-off between when the student is admitted or enrolled to when they start class. You and I both know it doesn't do any good to put in all that hard work on the front end if the student never actually starts class. Not only is that not helping anybody, but the student's not feeling very good about that experience either. And when we think about word of mouth and that student sharing their experience with other people, that's probably not going to work out well for the institution. So really thinking about what is your engagement strategy for students once they are admitted or enrolled. And do you have one? Does your team have one? What I hear quite often from counselors is they feel like they're kind of checking the box when they're doing follow-up calls. They're calling to say, hey, you still excited about starting school in 2 months? And they do that every week, over and over again until the student stops picking up the phone because they're like, hey, they don't really want anything. They're just checking in. Or the student decides, I don't really want to start class. And we haven't had any real meaningful interaction with the student to help them with that transition. So one of the things that I suggest and really customize in working with institutions is how can we create an engagement strategy for your students from the time that they are admitted or enrolled to when they transition into class. That sense of anxiety and fear and confusion, especially for the adult learner, is very real. And if we don't help the student feel supported through that process, we know that that typically sounds like the student not responding to our calls and not starting class, or they make the phone call and they say, you know what, I just can't start class right now. And there's a million excuses as to why. So our role in that process is to make sure that we have an engagement strategy that isn't just a bunch of phone calls and touch points that we go through and check the box in the CRM to make sure that the counselors or representatives are doing, but that we truly have the best interest of the student in mind. We have a targeted approach toward addressing those feelings that they have for that transition. Once that admission or that enrollment has been completed, what is the plan that we have in place that our counselors and our representatives can really strategically employ and do with the student that's customized to them? So there's a lot of ways that we can do that. One of those is a customized support plan for the student. There are specific touch points that we can create to, again, help your team and the student feel like it's meaningful for them. And creating that strategy so that it's intentional and it's purposeful and that we are exercising our responsibility to that student experience and to your overall institution, with the goal being that all that hard work that we put in on the front end with the student actually pays off so that that student starts class. So if you or your team find yourself struggling with the cancel rate, the melt rate, your depending on how you define that conversion, your enrollment to start conversion, if you find yourself stuck there, email me, let's talk, let's figure out how we can work together and help you create a customized strategy. You can reach out to me at jashbrook@elevatehighered.org. Would love to set up time where we can have a complimentary consultation and figure out how I can help support you and your team. I look forward to hearing from you.